Yeah, yo, it's Ugly Truck Driver. How the flock are you? Well, I've got a pen. I've got a cell phone. And I'm listening to the local news here in the tri-state area of New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware. And we're hearing a whole lot of wah, wah, wah. Primarily right now, it's down in Atlantic City. They're going to have to close a casino if somebody doesn't do something. 30 odd years ago, the state of New Jersey approved gambling in Atlantic City. And I'll be honest with you, I've been down there maybe 5 times in those 30 years. The most I've ever won was $500 on the quarter slots because that's all I'll play. And if I got anything over than the $100 that I took down with me, I put it in my pocket and left. But now they're crying and whining. They got to close the Borgata. This new one that was just open, it was just a wreck. Didn't stay in business long. They all went Chapter 11. Trump owned a couple of casinos down there, went Chapter 11. Basically what that means is anybody they owed money to, they shoved it up their ass. But the local news station sat there and said one of the leading casinos down there in the last year made $255 million, of which the state of New Jersey took 8.5% in taxes or user fees or whatever else. I just listened to Tim Furlong on NBC 10. They got casinos down there in Dover, Delaware. And Dover's gouging the casinos down there 43%, going, ooh, ooh, ooh. And of course, now we got casinos over in Philly. I've never been in love with casinos. I'm not in love with the lotteries that we have, the Mega Millions, the Powerballs, and all the rest of that. And I'll tell you why. Is because how many people have gone right down the toilet and taken their family with them, their jobs with them, their houses or apartments with them, because they have a problem with gambling. They don't know when to quit and walk away. And for every one of these big winners that you see on TV commercials, there's 100,000 losers. And yet I've seen locally here, different shopping centers, the bus pulls up. It's the casino bus to go to the shore. The senior citizens on fixed incomes are going down there. They give them $10 in quarters, as a, quote, gift to go down and gamble, as they gamble their Social Security check away. Yeah. No, I'm not a big idea on gambling. I sit there and I look at Atlantic City, and I've lived in New Jersey since 1951. And I remember Atlantic City before the casinos ever even were a thought or existed. We had places like Captain Starnes. We had beautiful bathing beaches to go on. We had great rides on the boardwalks for the kids to go on. We had awesome food on the boardwalks. And they did quite fine. And then the state, with its fishing industry restrictions and stuff like that, put a lot of people out of business. Captain Starnes eventually had to close. The casinos came in. Trump and all the rest of them. The guys from out there in Las Vegas, the mafioso out there, or out of New York. And they sat there and they built all these big, glittery casinos with their hotel rooms and all the rest of that, and their floor shows and their bands and entertainment centers and all that good stuff. It was supposed to enrich the area. As a resident here in the state of New Jersey that has been to Atlantic City. If you go more than about 4 blocks away from any casino, especially on the north end of Atlantic City, what do you have? You have poverty. You have unemployment. You have drugs. You have crime. You have all those nasty, nasty, dealy things that the news media and the town fathers of Atlantic City and the police department try to hide from you publicly. See, I used to drive down there every day during the day, years and years, for over 11 years, delivering different products as a truck driver. I delivered to the casinos. I delivered to businesses in the surrounding areas. And anything outside of about 4 blocks from the casino area, including the marinas, was basically a war zone. It still is today. They just don't want you to know about it. So if all these casinos, whether they're in Atlantic City or over here in Philly or down in Delaware or Maryland or up on Long Island with the Indian casinos, went out of business tomorrow, I don't think I'd feel too bad. It might save some families. It might save some homes. And maybe these areas might come back as what they were originally constituted as. Captain Starnes back in the 50s and the 60s. The big, wide, white, beautiful beaches you could go sit on all day in Atlantic City. The boardwalks where you could get pretzels. You could get all kinds of candy. Rides for the kids. All the rest of that. Good home family stuff. And like I say, outside of about 4 blocks from where any of the casinos are, yeah, you've got your strip clubs, you've got your cheap bars, everything else. You got crime, you got drugs, you name it. But see, I've watched it since 1951. And if all these casinos went bust and broke tomorrow, oh, we've got $255 million and we're not making it. Jesus, you sound like Hillary Clinton. When I left the White House, I was broke. Who's buying this bullshit? Do you really believe the news media? Do you really believe the casino owners? It's called Greed Incorporated at all costs. I know for a fact, one guy I know lost his job, lived up around me, took his last paycheck from his job and went down to the casinos in Atlantic City to try and win a super paycheck before he had to go home and tell his wife he got fired. And basically, he got fired from incompetence and stupidity. But you know what? He took a week's paycheck and blew it at the casinos in Atlantic City and came home with nothing. So not only did he not win anything, he lost his last paycheck. He got fired. It would take him 6 weeks before he could get an unemployment check by the laws in the state of New Jersey. And if it wasn't for the fact that his wife worked and a couple of the kids worked, they'd have starved to death and the rent wouldn't have got paid. And I'm quite sure there's other horror stories of other people out there like that happen on a daily and weekly basis. This is the part of the casino industry that nobody wants to talk about, whether it's the news media, the state government, because see, the state just looks at it. It's another dollar sign, man. It's one more way we can suck a buck out of the public. And that's a fact of life. I don't care who's governor, who the legislature is, or anything else. I have yet to meet a government entity that didn't like a tax or a new tax or more tax. So, if these casinos are on hard times and have to go bankrupt and close down, I have my pen. I have my cell phone. I'll call up their corporate headquarters and say, geez, I think I hear you're going broke. To which I'll sit there and say, bah! Go out of business, bastards. You destroyed more lives than you helped. But that's just the ugly truck driver's opinion. And of course, I know the casino workers, the waitresses, the butlers, the cooks, the performers, and all that will bitch and moan at me. But see, life is what it is. You had to sit there and sell your soul to get a casino license to work for the casinos. You had to be backgrounded and investigated by the state that you work in before you could work for those casinos. So basically, you sold your soul to the devil to make a few bucks. Whether you were a dealer on a table or a waitress trying to either sell drinks or sell your ass after hours. I don't feel sorry for you. If all the casinos and all that went out of business tomorrow, I wouldn't feel bad. Nah, not bad. You know, I often wonder, you look down in Tennessee, they got the Grand Ole Opry and stuff like that. They don't have gambling down there. They got good music, good entertainment and stuff like that. They're making money pretty decent. Maybe these casinos ought to get rid of the gambling and go back to family entertainment and family values. Oh. But see, that wouldn't generate $255 million a year. Might only generate $200 million. But see, therein lies the greed factor. But me at my age, on my income, you ain't going to see dime one out of me. You can kiss my skinny German backside. So if you go bust casinos, whether it's in Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, I'm not going to feel bad for you. Because you know what? Outside of that 4 blocks of where your casinos are, is a fucking war zone. You know it, and I know it. The public knows it. The government knows it. It's all about taxes. It's all about the money. And it isn't helping the citizens. And that was the original idea back in the 70s in Atlantic City, casinos, to help bring up all the people in Atlantic City. You went and you bought the cotton picking coffee. You drank the Kool-Aid. You're dumber than a box of rocks. I don't feel bad for any of you. You won't see a dime of my money. And of course, I know there'll be people out here bitching at me that I'm cruel and rude and mean and all the rest of that. Hey, if you're stupid enough to go down there and lose a paycheck, you get what you deserve. It's that simple. Bye!